resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and I don't know why we're so blurry. Do you see that? Mm-hmm. You're like extremely blurry right now. I don't know why, but we're here nonetheless, and wanted to talk to you guys about something that came up. It's kind of a slow week in eBay news, and I don't know what's going on with that microphone. It's under the webcam. It's really, maybe this is in the way. I don't know. But it's, I think that's what it was. It was picking up the microphone that's above us. So hopefully that improves it. And hopefully you guys can hear us okay. I'm going to double check that right now because it always seems to be an issue. Yeah, I think that might be a problem. We're kind of low. So hopefully that corrects it. So guys, I wanted to talk to you about one last time. I don't want to make any more videos on this or talk about it really anymore because it's kind of beating a dead horse. But I did know when I made the video earlier in the month that there were some people that were kind of like, I don't believe this. I don't see anything on eBay on it. And for whatever reason, eBay's been strangely silent on this issue until yesterday. We received an email, and this is also reported by eBay Main Street. It's also reported, I believe, by it was either Value Added Resource, or it was either that, or it was Ina Steiner's site. I can't think of the name right now. I apologize. I'm having a moment. But here it is. Here's the email that we received. 1099K issue is resolved. Now this is from eBay Main Street. So if you've never signed up with eBay Main Street, then you are probably not going to get this email. But as you can see here, and I'm trying to blow it up so you can read it. Happy to report that thanks to your efforts, Congress has restored the original 1099K reporting threshold of $20,000. There's that word, and 200 transactions. This change will prevent millions of Americans who are selling used personal items from receiving unnecessary and confusing tax forms. They should have added, will prevent millions of Americans who are just selling enough to get by as well in that statement. But this change wouldn't have been possible without the voice of eBay Main Street community. Thank you for speaking up and making your voice heard. And so, e-commerce bites. Sorry, Ina, if you're watching. Ina makes good content. Also, Liz does on Value Added Resource. And this is kind of what got me to looking for my email. And I was able to see that, hey, okay, maybe this is... And I went on eBay's site, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there under Help and Contact. The chart that's there does show the... incorrect data, and unfortunately this email didn't say what the bill says, which is it's effective this year. So trust me, bro, I guess, right? But that will hopefully help people at least kind of feel a little bit better. And I was doing some reading. People are torn about this. I kind of feel like as a seasoned reseller, we should be reporting this anyway, whether you make $5 in profit on any of these platforms or not. But that's just me because I have to, right? But, it's one of those things where I think each and every person has to make that personal decision. Someone did put on the forums, though, they said something to the effect of, it's kind of like going to Vegas and winning $1,000 on the machine, where the threshold for them to assign, it's called a signer, where they have you sign when they come out and pay, do a hand pay, it's like $1,200, right? So it's like that. What would you do if you, and I'm not trying to justify anything, I'm just trying to tell you what these people were saying, and it made some sense. If you won $1,000 in a slot machine, hit cashed out, gives you a ticket, you go put in the machine, and it kicks out 10 $100 bills, are you going to report that win to Uncle Sam? Bet it's a very, very small amount. And I guess that's kind of what people are thinking. While you and I, we're always hitting the jackpot, right? We're hitting that jackpot. We're bringing in, thousands of dollars a month, some of us. and of course we have to. We have no choice, and there's others that don't. And regardless of how you feel about taxation, it's up to each and every one of us on how we're going to comply with that, and it's up to each and every one of us to deal with the repercussions if you're ever found out. So just putting it out there, but I wanted to at least confirm what we put out earlier in the month and let people know that it's definitely, eBay finally acknowledged it. So I mean, I don't know why they haven't updated their site, but take that for what it's worth to you, and we try to just bring you the information as we get it. I apologize for being a little late to the show today, because about 5 minutes ago I got an email from Southwest Airlines, and apparently it was, I guess the Department of Transportation had sent Southwest our information and our letter and everything that happened. I don't think they received the actual video of our little travel thing, but it makes me want to kind of put it out because they lied. Of course, are you surprised?
Not surprised.
Tony, in all of his wisdom, decided he was going to kind of tell them a different story, how I went to the counter, which is true. I went to the counter. She wasn't with me, though. I went up to the counter after we got off that flight, and we realized that we weren't connecting. And I told the lady there, and she went around with me about how, she thought it was weather related. I thought it was a agent error in putting me on that flight when our bags made it just fine. Okay, we had to agree to disagree. But I asked for a supervisor, and 2 people came over. A supervisor named Leslie, which wasn't named, and she was very nice until Tony stepped in and said, "Okay, we're done talking in circles. You're not listening to us, and we're leaving." They walked away, and it wasn't until I approached him somewhere later in the terminal did Jenna come over and get upset, because he was kind of mocking her for not being able to hear what he had to say, and it upset her, and she called him an effing a-hole. So that's what happened, but that's not. So it makes me want to put out the little video that we did have to show that it's not cool to lie. But I guess self-preservation. It's they're what is it? My word against theirs. That's kind of what he's banking on. So that's kind of what delayed us. And I just read it was they sent me like this long-winded email like about all the different things that they do. I don't care. Okay, this is what happened, and it's BS. So nonetheless, I just had to get that off my chest. It has nothing to do with eBay, has nothing to do with anything but just what we're going through. So I made a sale, made a solid $229 sale just now. My phone is not displaying sound right now. I don't know why, but that's pretty solid. It puts us over I think the 800 mark for the day. Sales have been booming for us right now, guys. I'm telling you. There's really no rhyme or reason for it. We're just going to keep rolling. We're going to keep riding the wave until we fall off, right? So let's see who we have with us today. We have Brenda. Brenda Smith says, "I'll be back. We are in a thunderstorm weather alert." That's no good. Where are you at?
I wish we were in a thunderstorm weather alert.
There's something, I hate to say it, there's something kind of fun in a twisted way about bad weather. Maybe I'm just weird like that, but you're like, ooh, here comes some bad weather. Let's not stay indoors. What I do is I go outside and I'm just waiting, and I get drops of rain, and I'm just like, oh, yes. Maybe it's because we're not sick of rain.
We don't get it very often.
Yeah, and we're hopefully getting to the point where in August coming up here, we're going to start getting the monsoons, which is what I'm looking forward to. Mike Mecco Meetup says, "Hi, John and Jenna and FA family. I am happy to report that I have finally recovered from my dip in sales as a result of starting my YouTube channel in December. My 90-day dropped 50% during this time." Wow. It's a distraction. Yeah. These videos are a distraction. Now, I got to say, shout out to Pete, Craigslist Hunter. About 45 minutes ago, he sent me a text, and he just let me know, hey, I just want to let you know that the videos that you've been doing the last couple weeks are a hit. Now, I'm like, okay, well, my viewership isn't necessarily up, but I feel, he said that, it's a better format, good sound quality, and he was, saying that it was a pretty good change on my part. So I'm going to stick with that format where, I go out like every weekend, make about 4 or 5 videos. I'm going to make them at least 30 minutes so that, some of you guys who like to work and listen aren't constantly changing to a different video or whatever. So you'll be listening to me more often, work and ramble at the same time. So just putting that out there. But thanks for the feedback, Pete. I appreciate you. Back to Mike, though. Due to diligent listing, I'm climbing back up, not quite at my usual 90-day total, but getting close. The hiatus from eBay was worth it, though. I was able to establish my channel nicely. Yeah, you've done a great job, and I'm very proud of you. You've done a heck of a job, not only getting started, but sticking to it. The hardest thing on a YouTube channel, the two hardest things is getting started, right? Getting yourself the courage to get in front of that camera and think, well, is someone going to want to watch what I have to say or hear what I have to say? And also, when you don't see the results right away, it's like, my thought was, man, it's just a few of my friends and family being nice to me by watching my videos. But it grows because you do have real people that watch you, and that content resonates with them. So very, very proud that you made it, and you have not allowed it to affect, at least temporarily you did, but you're back on track. So good on you for that. And that's worth a... Keith's with us, says, hi, I'm on special location out in the town, living the dream, but can't be missing the FAE stream. Yeah, we appreciate you, Keith. I'm glad that you're able to do that. But where in the world are you at like 11 o'clock at night? It's a little late. Maybe you're just out in the town having a good time. Here's Keith says, me and Crazy's life took off for the weekend, living the dream at seafront location. Wow, with views of the sea. That must be awesome. Yeah, got to take that break. And you're still not going to miss the FAE show. I'm glad you have reception so you can see it. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. R&R and with Crazy's Life, Living the Dream. Absolutely.
Yes.
Is that it? You going to show it? Got to share a little of the... It looks like Alcatraz or something in the background there. Very, very cool.
He's even got a cold beverage.
Yeah.
And that had to have been earlier in the day because there's no way it's still light out.
Callie Dev says, hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. Very, very excited about today because I'm going to get to watch a movie that came out today that is one of my favorites. You don't know which one I'm talking about? You don't know which one I'm talking about?
No.
Happy Gilmore, the sequel, part 2, is out today on Netflix. So if you like stupid comedy like me, just brainless, just I want to laugh for 2 hours kind of comedy, then definitely do that. Here we go.
So long, sucker.
Kevin Hawthorne says, good evening. Nice to see you, Kevin. And Joe Samard says, hello, John, Jenna, and FAE peeps. Nice to see you, Joe. Glenda Bavona says, hi, everyone, or everybody. Flip It Goods with us. And Henri Squaw hopes everyone's Friday is going well. We have Gail. Hello, all you flippers. Ping G, happy Friday, John, Jenna, in the chat. And then going back to Gail, he ordered an LP record as near mint on both record and sleeve, received it, and it's not even close. They say no returns, but I can return it if it's not as described. Certainly you can. Mm-hmm. I had a couple of those too when I was selling LPs. When you're grading records, it is really the eye of the beholder when it comes to that. I tried to put out, here's a chart, here's my grading system, right? And I kind of copied it from another seller because I didn't know the first thing about records, but it seemed to be pretty good. But you get these audio files, these people who collect these things, and if you say, I'm not saying you are, but if you say it's mint, it better be mint, because these people are going to say, look, this isn't even close. It may look really, really good, but there's things that they look for, and they will return it and open a 9ad in a heartbeat. And you know what? If it's misrepresented, then open a return. Don't feel bad about it. PaulsMerch.com says, hello, happy Friday, everyone. Well, nice to see you, Paul. Thanks for hanging out with us. We have Susan Shepard. Good afternoon. Happy to be here with you all. We're happy to have you. Okay, Big Dre says, hello, John, Jenna, in chat. Heading to the storage unit to get a pair of sneakers that sold. Yeah, I have these mats for a Tesla, and we bought like 6 or 7 sets of them for like $3 a piece, and we sold 2 of them in one day when they've been just sitting around, and we only keep 2 boxes here. So another one sells, I'm gonna have to go to the storage unit and get it. And I was thinking, as we grow, we're at 311 items in the main store. The secondary store is just secondary. When I get time, I list there. That's over 400 items. It doesn't seem like a lot. But with the storage unit we have, well, forgetting the storage unit, with the storage space we have in the garage, I think we might be able to get a combined 1,000 items, maybe. But even then, once we get 1,000 items between both stores or more, I'm going to have to start relying on that storage unit. And then the items that maybe have been sitting longer on the shelf are probably going to be placed in storage in a numbered system where, I'm probably going to have to do what I thought I originally was going to do, which is take a daily trip at 7 a.m. to the storage unit. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that just yet for the most part. Some days I've had to go to get those shower shitters, which did sell out. We don't have any more, thank goodness, but we replaced those shower seats with some really nice dog ramps for the dog ramps for your car. Things haven't sold. Got them for $3. I've been trying to sell them, bringing the price down gradually, trying to find the market for them, because unlike other sellers, we don't have free shipping on those. So trying to find the right market has been a challenge on those. But I gradually am using that space to get more items stored. That's for sure. Let's see. Underscore wants to know, what is eBay Main Street? So eBay Main Street is like eBay's government relations organization. It is an advocacy group, and I do believe it is put forth by eBay. So this is eBay Main Street, ebaymainstreet.com. And you can go and sign up. That's probably why we got the email, but you could sign up. You can go sign petitions here. It gives they give you little news on what eBay's doing on the government side, the lobbying side of things. Advocating sellers' rights and different things like that. And it's an interesting read, but mainly, you sign up in case there's any kind of legislation that's coming down the pike where you want to be involved and to know more about. So that's what eBay Main Street is. Biff says the change in 1099K limits isn't noteworthy if you're either 1 full-time or 2 honest. Can't we talk about AI? What do you want to talk about AI? AI is going to be with us for quite some time. And of course, I got a return request. What is going on? It's like the more you sell, the more active you're going to have with your questions. We've got a lot of questions lately on things and on returns. So, it is what it is. We just keep moving. And going back to AI, it's going to be with us for a long, long time. I've kind of equated this to not only the internet. When the internet was, pushed on us, some were very resistant. Others were like, this is a cool technology. And it took some time for the resistant people to finally get on board through like AOL and all that, and finally accept it as a part of daily life. And then came the smartphone. We had our flip phones, our Motorola phones, and all this, that, and other thing. And how many of us thought that was a fad when the first iPhone came out? But I think now everyone has a smartphone and it's part of daily life. And this is the next iteration of that, where AI is, like it or not, going to be a part of daily life from here on out. So whatever you want to talk about, we'll discuss it. YY says, hello, in 2025 I've sold 35,000 in personal items with 40 transactions. Will I get a 1099 for 2025? You're not supposed to. Now, I say that not knowing what state you're in. I don't know the threshold that your state has. If you have a state that has a lower threshold, then that's going to get reported. And IRS will get a hold of that too. Now, the way it's written, it's 20,000 and 200 transactions. So according to this, you will not, it's the 40 transactions. You must be selling some pretty high-end items. But even if you did, by you saying that they're personal items, if you can show or demonstrate that you took a loss from the retail price you paid to the amount that you sold it for, it was a loss. Doesn't matter how long you held on to it for, then that's not taxable anyway. Even if it is reported, you can go in. I'm not a CPA, but you can go in and claim that as a loss and not any kind of a profit. Henri Scott says, "What did your new email say?" Whoops, what happened?
No, they're talking about Southwest.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're saying that we got $300 in credit each. We didn't. We got like $200 each. I'm not going to split hairs on that, but I'm more irritated about the
lies.
The lies. It's like she wasn't even involved until, it was a solid 45 minutes into my numerous attempts to get these guys to work with us. So that's fine. Next time I find myself in that situation, the power of the cell phone in a public place is something I'm going to utilize a little bit better than I did. Biff says jackpot reporting is up to $2,000 from $1,200 with the BBB. Also, I didn't know that. I recall a friend of mine, he's a big-time gambler, he won under $2,000 at a slot machine, and he had to pay that. Also, poker loss claims are now capped at 90% of winnings. That's correct. Now, so maybe now with the new bill that passed earlier in this month, it's 2,000. So that's pretty good. But yeah, 90% of winnings is kind of crappy, I think, right? It's sort of like saying, it's telling the professional gamblers, a lot of professional gamblers in Las Vegas, it's telling them, look, you may have broke even. You brought in $1,000 to the casino and you left with $1,000, but along the way, you lost most of that $1,000, but hit a jackpot before you left, and now you can only say that you have to basically say that you won $100, even though you broke even. You left with $1,000, the same as when you came in, but because of that 90% rule. And I wonder if that's ever going to translate into sort of like reselling. So if you buy $1,000 worth of stuff, maybe you bought it for personal use, but you sold it for $1,000, are you only able to write off $900? I don't know. I mean, that's not in the bill right now, but who knows in the future? It just doesn't make sense to me. If you break even, you shouldn't have to pay anything. Keith says, put the video out and send Southwest the link. Yeah, I might have to. I'm just irritated by it. I understand the rep. I'm not irritated at the rep that sent me the letter. I'm actually it's cool. They sent us a letter. It wasn't a form letter, which is very comforting, but at the same time, I was told that they have a way, if they really wanted to, they could pull up video. They have lots of video and they have audio throughout the terminal. They could see how that went down if they really wanted to. Let's see. Honor Squad's got a crown for the moment, so I don't know the leaderboard. It's not letting me mess with it, so I don't know.
It's right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to be able to display it, but maybe that's not something you can do.
Can't do that.
Becky Ann says, came to hit the like button, still waiting on the first sale of the day. Well, you're not going to get a sale until you hit the like button. If you hit the like button, something might turn on or turn off, so you don't want that. Let's see. Biff says, June was my best month since March 2022. July didn't match it, but won't be that far off. Crushing this week, selling collectibles in the summertime. That's awesome. So that gives me hope for those who are selling the want items. When you report that you're doing well with your sales, it just makes me wonder what is the real reason behind summer slowdowns. Well, there's something right here. It's top fans. Maybe that'll come up. Oh, okay, but it's not showing it for me. But Keith, Brenda, Henri Squaw, Ping, that must be Paul Rose, Count 1970, Gail, Junior 12, Mike Metco in 8th, Biff in 9th, and then to cap it off at 10th is Duncan in the top scoreboard of interacting with the chat and the channel. Brenda's in Massachusetts, so that might be, I don't know. You'd have to check. I really don't want to tell you that it's going to happen, but it sounds like it could be one of those states that would report. Daisy's.
She's talking about the thunderstorm.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, they could report the thunderstorm too. Daisy says, "Hello, family. Nice to see everyone. Nice to see you, Daisy." And YY says, "Okay, thanks, Ping. Is this confirmed to be effective for 2025?" That's the way it was written. Go back and watch the video I put out a couple weeks ago. I show the actual bill in its writing, and it was retroactive, so it does count for this year. Pingy says, yes, that is what John reported and showed earlier. Yes. Biff says, John, you could just make a quick shirt change to create the illusion of making videos daily. I could, and I have done that before. I have, there's times that I'm working out there, and I guess I could just jump in front of the camera with my, work attire on, and sometimes I'll change. But she does the laundry, and I don't think she wants me to rack up the laundry just because
He makes enough of a mess. I don't need any more.
Paul Rose says, hi, John and Jenna, or Henna. Been up since 4:30 a.m., so flagging now, 11:15 p.m. Just wanted to say hi. Awesome. Well, we're glad to have you. I'm sorry it's so late. You guys out there in the UK are troopers. I think we picked the right time slot for US. It just works out really well for the US. And if we had a different time slot, it might work out better for the UK. But I mean, I can't make everyone happy on that. Oh, we got a gift membership from Keith. Awesome, Keith. Thank you so much. Let's see you want to read who got the memberships.
Mike G, Classic Phase, Randall and Lori Gray, Buy Low, Sell Chai, Junk Trader.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Keith, for being so generous. And I say thank you to them because it's through your interaction on the channel that gets you in the algorithm where YouTube will consider you for gift membership. So thanks to everyone, especially Keith. And thank Keith. What that gives you, because some people are like, well, okay, what does that mean? What it means is you're going to get access to the videos that we put out a day earlier. It's kind of a perk we decided to roll out. So Monday, you're going to get the first video that people won't see till Tuesday. And then we also have twice a month, we have like a members live that we just had on Wednesday where we kind of go into other people's accounts, try to help them figure out better practices. And we're going to do other things as well. That's kind of what we've been doing. I'm looking for other things that is really of interest to people to do and talk about as well. So stay tuned for that. So though you guys will actually be able to participate next month. Let's see. It's dark now, but I'm still out. Watch sunset over the sea. That sounds awesome.
I want to do that.
Gail says Trav Kelsey is in it too. Who is Trav Kelsey?
Really?
Oh, you mean the tight end?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not Trav though. It's Travis Kelsey. I'm like, what the hell is Trav? And you know what? It's funny. I'm getting in the mode for fantasy football. I don't know anybody out there likes fantasy football, but I gotta say we've got a league that we've been doing now for the last 20 some odd years, and it's from my Amtrak days, but it's carried over, and it's probably the best, most unique league out there. And why I'm not thinking who the hell is Travis Kelsey, I don't know. Let's see, let's go down here. Flipping for the trailers says, good evening all, been slow here, going to be doing a nuclear reset here tonight. Yes, nuclear resets I believe are important, and got a viewer who really doesn't spend any time in, and that's the cool thing about this channel. We've got a lot of folks in the community who are here, chatting away and checking in and everything. But we have viewers who just don't. Whether they're watching on TV, they don't have a way to really chat effectively. It's not really any way to chat at all on the TV for the most part. But they still send me emails and well wishes and stuff. And we have one that's going to be giving me, or has already given me, some really good information on some things, some questions that I had them ask. It's not like the same one. You guys remember a few years ago, I had a viewer that spent a lot of time sending me messages and emails and was going to do their auto parts business on eBay, but was waiting. I never heard from them again, but they had a link to somebody in San Jose eBay, and they were able to kind of get information for me. That was cool, but this is a little different, where it's just somebody that has a contact with somebody that they've been put in touch with. I'll just say that, who is an expert. And we say, well, what constitutes an expert? An expert, I can tell you, like from my days working at Amtrak, I wasn't what we called a foamer. We weren't foamers. What's a foamer? Someone foaming at the mouth just to take the train. Oh, I get to travel on the train. Okay, big deal. Okay, so you're an expert from that perspective. But from the behind the scenes perspective, there's no customers that are experts. I'll just tell you that right now. That they may have an idea what the policies are. They may have an idea what the fares are. They might have an idea of the time of travel and all that. But they don't have it all together as an expert would, who works with it every day, like somebody. And there's experts at eBay who work with it every day, who are like, they know what works and what doesn't. That's what we're going to be talking about this weekend when I do some videos. So I had some questions. They got some answers, and I'm going to be reporting that to you. And you take it for what it's worth. But I can tell you, it only confirms a lot of the stuff that we've been doing really great, and take it for what it's worth. So stay tuned for that. Next week we'll be dropping that. Such awesome show. I love what you guys do, showing appreciation. Have coffee or a drink on me. Keith, you do too much, man.
Yeah.
I tell you, we love you, and just are amazed by, the level of involvement that you have with this channel. It's overwhelming. You and Mike and Duncan, you guys are the super fans of this channel. But I'm saying there's a few more as well. Biff, he's up there. I mean, it would do me no justice to try to name you all, because like Gail, I mean, there's so many pings always here, Omri Squaw. So to try to name all the folks that we really appreciate would just be pointless, because we would miss out.
We appreciate all of you.
We would miss out on so many people. So thank you guys for being here. We got Dave with us, and by the way, thanks for the super chat. We will get a coffee on you, though, I promise. Biff says, you can't sell a record as mint unless it's sealed, unless you enjoy returns. What about near mint? Can you sell it as near mint? Curious about that. Paul had
it's near mint,
Keith.
or it's not.
Well, there's mint. There's near mint. There is
that an
excellent
option on eBay?
Well, okay, no, there's not. You sell it as pre-owned, like the LPs. You sell them as pre-owned, and then you will put a grading in the title. Some people will put VG. VG sounds great, but on a scale, it's not all that impressive, But many people put VG plus. It's a notch just above. Okay, it has some scratches on the record, but it plays really good, right? So everyone's going to have a little different grading scale when it comes to LPs. Let's see. Keith says, Paul Rose, unfortunately there will be just hopefully not for a while. I don't know what I missed there, so I'll skip that one. Art by Axe says, List Easier is finally here. Yeah, I did see the video from James, so yeah, they did come out with that. Paul Rose says, on a lighter note, what's the dumbest question from a buyer you've had lately, John?
So many options to choose from.
That's a good question. So that's not a dumb question. That's actually a good question. But what's the dumbest question that I've had? If I'm being honest with you, we get them all the darn time. I'm trying to just get to eBay here, because I didn't queue up what I show you what our numbers look like. I got to do that as well. But as far as
What the hell is that?
don't know. It's Versace. What did you think it was? Look at Jenna. Her mind's in the gutter. Look at this. She said, "What is that?" You see that right there? What do you think it was?
I don't know. It was a very...
It's a little too soon to go down the rabbit hole. I am seeing some items from our discussion on Wednesday, but that's not what I was trying to do.
Wednesday?
Yeah, for our members only.
Oh.
We went over some items from some members and try to give some best practices and stuff like that. I mean, I get, the ones that come to me, like, maybe they don't speak English very well. I hate to say that because it's hard to decipher. You have to go back and forth. What did you mean? What did you mean? What did you mean? You're just trying to find an answer to their question. They have a question, but I really don't think we've had any stupid questions. Can you think of anything?
I mean, that could be debatable.
One will come to me after the show, and I'll probably have to talk about it this weekend. But none so far. So let me show you. I'm going to go to this real quick. Want to show you, for those who actually follow the show, we like to show you how we're doing. Now I got to finish responding to that return request, but we have 770 today in sales. Yesterday was 586. 617 the day before that, 611, 778. We are at 43.26 the last 7 days in sales, up 30% over the last 31 days at 15,420. Last 90 days is a shade under 40,000 in sales. So I couldn't be more pleased with this account, but I'm not going to allow that to make me complacent, thinking, oh yeah, we're right on the where we want to be. No, we're really not. Ever since having that meeting and bringing on Joe, Profit First Reseller, I got to tell you, man, that guy has been an inspiration to see that it is possible to have sales that are common sales days in the $1,000 range. Tell me, even at a 30% margin, if you sold $30,000 in a month, where you're making $10,000, okay, then you have to deal with taxes and all that. But I mean, how many people would feel pretty good about their financial situation if they were able to clear $8,000, $9,000 in a month? I got to tell you, that's definitely something we're going to try to keep pushing for. But it takes a lot of work. We're just a couple people here trying to make this thing work, and we don't have employees or a warehouse. But I guess maybe that's where it ends up going. Where do you get capped? At what point are you capped on what you can earn just simply because you only have so many hours in a day? While at the same time saying, okay, it's time to quit. Because there's some days I'll work all day, and there's some days that I'll be like, okay, it's time to just be done. Have dinner, watch TV, or whatever. So being able to say, I'm working 6 days a week, part-time on the 7th day, because I don't take days off. I just take time off. It's the way I roll. And say, okay, we're maxed out. That, I wonder how much one can make in a month doing that. YY says, hi, Ann in Florida. Nice to see you from Florida. Nice and humid, I'm sure, out there. Fast Eddie says it's here. Still says it's in beta on main landing page. I am not part of the project. Wish Josh and James and everyone well. I am simply, just like you, I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm just watching how AI evolves as it gets better. So we'll see. Would like to hear you guys what your thoughts are, though. Samantha says, hello, John, Jenna, and FA viewers. Hope your week was good. Have a great weekend and keep cool. That's the toughest part, keeping cool. But it hasn't been too crazy hot here. I mean, I knock on particle board. It's at 100 degrees right now, which is actually quite mild for this time of year. Makes me want to go out and hit the ball, play some golf. Biff says, I've seen a lot of AI listers bubbling up beyond the two that we really talk about. I'm wondering how many will come along and how they will compete. I'm wondering how one can differentiate itself.
Yes.
If I was to give you a generic answer to that, because I'm not familiar hands-on with any of these listers, I just aside from my auto parts, I really don't have a whole lot of things that I could really list in bulk like that. But to me, and I've said this before, the perfect AI lister tool isn't only just listing. It's about customer service. It's about account maintenance. It's about doing all the mundane things that, and excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. I'm trying to keep myself from sneezing. But it's getting all the mundane things we don't want to deal with, like the customer service, the account maintenance. Who wants to go on and do end item sell similars all the time? I mean, it's part of my baked in process, so it doesn't bother me. But doing that, how about maintaining markdown sales, running new coupons? It's giving, without giving up too much control, because I think that's the thing that we might all fear is like, oh, let AI take over and it's going to just ruin everything. But beyond that, there's a fine line that you draw, but you're essentially hiring a VA that's going to do account management for you under a set of rules. So I'd like to see like an AI where you can give it maybe drilled down commands within its base function. So it's going to do end item sell similar, but you can go in and say only do items that are over $50, or only do items that are in this category. And it'll know, because AI is just built to be smart like that, it'll know and be able to look for those listings and drill down and only run those listings. Or say, you know what, I want to handle all the really important emails that I get from these buyers, but the questions about, you know, does this fit or does this work? You know, I want you to do the groundwork, find the answer by looking at the listing and or another resource that's away from eBay, and answer the buyer's questions. That kind of thing, I think, would really allow sellers to get out and source more, to do more photos, do more things that you would then pass on to the listing program. And I think, look, AI is in its infancy as it comes to eBay. I think it was just this year where anyone, maybe late last year, where really anyone has integrated AI into any eBay task. eBay's tried it, but they didn't really pull it off all that well. It's only going to get better, guys. When I say AI is going to be an everyday thing for you and I, it's like the internet and your cell phone. I absolutely mean it. And if there was a way to put a bet on it, I would bet the house on how AI is going to have that big of an impact on the things that we do. How many people out there would like to be able to just have an AI that would be their virtual employee, that they get up in the morning and they see all the tasks are done up to that point, and all you got to do is just the basics that the AI can't do? Sign me up, but that hasn't hit yet. So, you know, I'm not getting all excited about AI until it absolutely happens. Duncan, you want to read that? I gotta blow my nose because I almost sneezed.
Duncan, I'm late. The cicadas are eating my KFC and the crickets too. How's the red eye, John? I hope you are seeing the eye doctor. His red eye is manageable right now. However, he's going to California to the eye doctor next week.
It's weird. My red eye... So it kind of happened a few nights ago, like last Saturday night. Went and played some cards, came back home, and my eye was really itchy. So I'm doing one of these things. I'm rubbing my eye and go to sleep, wake up, and it feels like there's sand in my eye. And I had really, really beet red. And I'm trying to rub it or figure out what, putting drops in, trying to figure out how to get this feeling out of my eye. And I just kind of rolled with it. I did the videos. I did a couple of videos with some redness in my eye, but it was really bad before that. We had the same redness when we went on that trip to the East Coast, where we ended up driving in the middle of the night from Chicago, and it was just as bad then. So I'm going to have a discussion with my eye doctor who knows my eyes like the back of like the back of his hand, and he's going to be able to say, hey, this is what's going on with you. I feel like I'm going to sneeze. I cannot stand this. Sorry,
Probably
guys.
your nose hairs tickling your nose.
I'm about to sneeze again.
Mm-hmm. Might be time for a trim there, sir. Bless you. Goodness gracious. Bless you. Jovial Juggler. Bless you, sir. Rhonda, hey, FAE fam. Happy Lister Easier Day. List Easier Day. It's a little hard to get off the tongue. Let's see. Paul Rose, I can't remember, but in the UK now for private sellers, I think it's 30 transactions in a year or either 2 or 6K in sales. Can't remember. So it must be both, not just one, right? That's what I would say.
Wow.
Let's see. Keith, okay, just grabbing drink as they just rang the last orders. Last call. Ding, ding, ding.
Wow. Have you ever sneezed where it just you could feel it in your chest? You can just.
Not in a really long time.
That's what happened right now. Hopefully, I'm all right.
Hello,
Woo.
Glenn.
Glenn says, hi, FAE. 0 sales today so far. I hit the like button for the guaranteed 24-hour sale. Thank you for your show and dedication. Yes. We love it. We enjoy talking to you guys and hanging out with you guys. What did Jovial say?
She said it's Happy List Easier Day.
Whatever happened to that other program?
Oh, you should have grabbed me one.
Whatever happened to that program? Anybody out there know what happened to that program? The other program, the other lister.
What
That was so
program?
popular for 2 weeks.
Oh, that one.
But, yeah. Duncan says, hit the like for your free INAD in return and crickets and cicadas. Yes.
Our cicadas right now are so freaking loud.
Yes.
They come into town and boy, they just scream.
Paul says it stinks for selling your personal possessions. You pay tax on the money you earn to buy them, tax when you bought them, and tax when you sell them. That's cake and eat it and somebody else's cake. That's
a lot of cake.
The government will try to find ways to get as much money as they can.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because they really need it. They like to print money like it's out of style. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just stop collecting taxes and just print money. Coppercat says, hello, FA family. I'm waiting for it to cool down tonight so I could do some work in the garage.
Oh, it doesn't cool down here. That's the problem. It's awful. It stays 100 all day, all night.
I think I wrecked myself with that sneeze that I made, man. I just, feel so...
Okay, now let's recover and move on.
I'm trying. You could tell in my voice, like, I'm congested now for some reason. Art by Axe says, I haven't figured out how to list different category items in List Easier, but it's a breeze for a similar single category batch listing. Okay. Good feedback. What?
Hello, Craig.
Craig Winans, there he is. How are you doing today? Callie Deb says 2025 sales are doing better than 2024 sales.
That's good.
That's encouraging.
Yeah.
We are, I can cue it up, we are still, and I thought by the end of this month we were actually going to catch last year, meaning that we were going to fall off to a place where we were performing at the same level as last year. And that just hasn't been the case. So when we go to our stats, we're up. We're teetering under almost at 1% a few weeks back, and we're at now up 2.8% as compared to last year. $78,706 in sales, 1,019 items sold, and $77.24 ASP. There's going to come a time where we're going to just kind of stay stagnant with that number, I think. Probably end of this year, next year, you're not going to see any increases there. But we're happy. We're just going to keep adding to this number is going to go up simply because our store size is going to increase. That's the goal right now. I was talking to the guys on the Profit Playbook podcast. You guys are going to see that one tomorrow. If you guys want to hear about AI, tomorrow is the show. That's why I'm not really saying a whole lot either about AI, because there's a lot that we say. You may hate AI, the idea of AI, but really, and I do a little pushing back too in that discussion. It's not just three guys going rah 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 AI. There are some concerns that I have with AI, and we're going to talk about all that tomorrow on the Profit Playbook podcast. And I lost track of thought. Oh yeah, I am in Josh Galt mode, in that 2 years ago, Josh Galt was into this growth. How to grow. And I was in maintain mode. I was in, okay, you can grow all you want, but I want to maintain the 200 listings and to make the money we're making. I'm happy with that. But now I'm more in my mind into growth mode, because I could see a path where growth doesn't mean sacrificing sale. I could see scalability with not only the number of items we're listing, but the number of items that we're selling. Maybe not 1-to-1, but certainly enough to make it worthwhile having a 1,000-item store. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Glenn Cameron says, lighthouse is not shining in my harbor this week, just a blimp one day. And you wonder about things like that too. And that's a great question, because I have questions that I'm trying to gather for a number of resources. And of course, how many of you guys get a pen?
Here.
And you got something that you want to write down, and you get through the first few letters and they don't work. The pen doesn't work, and you're finding, ruffling, looking for pens. Maybe it's just me. But going to eBay open in a few weeks, I want to get some questions. Now, will eBay tell me, how the cake is baked? They probably won't. They're probably going to say, great question about the lighthouse effect, but we'll have to get back to you. But I'm still going to ask questions, that's for sure. Joby says, if you're drinking a cold beverage at a pub, it's happy all day, all the way in the UK. Mix Mercantile says, hey, John and Jenna, checking in from California. Nice to see you, Mick.
Hello.
What part of California?
No, they're in like the Hollywood area.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, it could be somebody else.
Andy says, I myself have not received any lister easier yet, so I'm done waiting for it. Business as usual. I think you have to go over there and sign up, though. I mean, I'm not. I don't have an affiliate link or any connection with them, except the folks running it are good friends. That's it. Michelle R says, hello everyone, nice to see you. And Biff says, maybe shirtless is the answer. Then nobody can accuse you of wearing the same shirt every day, and you'd be much cooler in the garage. Oh, I would lose 90% of our subs if I went shirtless. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody's got time for that. She doesn't have time for that. So why should you?
Oh, Rhonda would have a heyday.
You think Pegasus Lounge hit me hard on that one video? He'd be like, this fat ass is going to give you information on reselling? Okay, let's look at it. Duncan says 450 in sales today, not bad.
That's excellent.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, now it's all based on your perspective, though. Someone like Profit First reseller might be like, yeah, 450, it's a slow day. We're just going to do better tomorrow. But it might be an outstanding day for someone else. So there you go. Paul Rose says the time slot is fine, John. Just go for your home crowd first. Absolutely. Just struggling to join lately. So busy and cream crackered, knackered to non-Brits. What the hell is a cream cracker? Sounds kind of good.
No, it doesn't. Any cream, nothing.
Cream cheese on a cracker? That might be pretty good.
I mean,
we got
you're
some
making
Philadelphia cream cheese.
You're just making stuff up now.
Oh, and we got to get some popcorn for the show tonight. I told you I needed some popcorn for the movie. Duncan says, John, can you stop the rain here? We'll trade you for our 100-degree heat.
Please send it to us.
100-degree Fahrenheit heat. We'll trade you. Kim Townsend says, hi. I'm a few months in on the reselling. I've learned a lot from watching you. I don't do YouTube, just eBay, but I appreciate you guys doing this. Aww. Well, but you're here, so you do YouTube in the sense that you're
a watcher,
a consumer of the content.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Most people who sell on eBay don't make content.
Yeah.
And the story behind it for us, many of you guys know, it was sort of a way to fill a void. You're used to helping people and being a sort of an expert at policy and things like that, and what makes things tick, and that was kind of my interest in making these videos. What's for dinner, Duncan? Says Duncan. What do you want for dinner? I made homemade birria yesterday. How
I would
was
like that again, but we don't have enough.
it? You can have it. I had some for lunch. That's a good thing about cooking in large batches. You have enough for lunch and like the next days. So you can have nachos, birria nachos. We have birria tacos. Mr. B says, I don't understand the title. So the title is pretty much just explaining that there was a bill that passed back in was it the 5th of July that Congress signed, the president signed, put into law, like all these different things. And buried in that bill was a change to how our earnings are reported to eBay. It's called a 1099K. Our earnings are reported to the IRS from eBay. And since that bill was passed, I put out a video, but eBay really didn't acknowledge it. And so people were like, okay, eBay said nothing about this. I'm just going to go on with my merry way and just assume that it's still $5,000. But this message that Main Street came out, that's eBay's government relations department. They had that operation up, and they put that email out. Unfortunately, they still haven't updated the eBay.com website to reflect that, but it's just a matter of time before they do. I just wanted, for those who had doubts, like, here's some information from eBay. That's kind of what that's about. Paul Rose says, Pico, what are you drinking? What was he drinking? Some Guinness, I think?
It was a beer or something.
Susan Shepard says, I had jury duty this morning.
Oh.
Was only there for a couple hours. Everyone dismissed. Got a $20 check, then paid $20 for parking.
Oh my gosh, that's ridiculous.
I know that, like, jury duty, the first day is free. Most out here in California, Nevada,
Yeah.
the first day is free, and then if you go beyond the first day, then they pay you. How much was it? It was more than $20 though, wasn't it? I like to think it was like $60 a day or something
it's
out
like
here.
$60 or $80 a day.
Yeah, and that okay.
But
now
you can also choose, instead of getting the check from the court, you can get paid by Amtrak for.
Well, that was $15 a day out in California. Back when we were in California, you only got paid $15 a day. But out here in Nevada, when we got a summons to appear as, for jury duty selection, they said on the form that it's $65 a day, I think, that they give you for going. But
I don't know.
But we got dismissed. Both of us got one. We got dismissed. Blithering Rando, I've never heard the term nuclear reset. I'm glad you said it. Nuclear, not nuclear. That's awesome. What would that entail? Hi, guys. Been a while since I commented. Well, we remember you, Blithering Rando, and thank you for the comment. The term nuclear reset means you're going to take all your listings, maybe, and this is something that I've done when it has been very, very slow. I'm talking extreme, like unrealistically slow. I just got through selling $500-$600 days and listen to the same kind of items, and I have 0 sales, maybe for 2 days in a row, that kind of thing. It's like something might be wrong. Your items might be categorized wrong or cataloged wrong. Maybe eBay did something on the back end and it's affecting your store and other stores. So the idea is to take all those items, in them, and then go into the ended, and you could choose to relist. It works the same way. You don't have to go in and delete your endeds if you do it that way. I have always been known as the guy that will do the opposite of a shortcut if it feels easier to me. So I've, like in the past when I worked in Amtrak, I would come to create a reservation for someone, but I do it kind of the long way. People go, why are you doing it that way? Because this is the way I'm comfortable doing it, and I'm faster this way. And so I will use the end item sell similar process, even though the relist is certainly going to take an extra step out of the equation for you. So you wipe out all your listings, you redo them. Now that gives you a chance to maybe take a look at your pricing, your title, your photos. Maybe if a very, very large store, you do it in batches. So you do 200 at a time until you have every single one ended and then relisted. And by the time the entire process is done, you now have X amount of listings, your entire store that has a new listing tag next to the title in someone's search. And that lasts for like 12 to 24 hours. Not a very long time, but it's a way to just refresh everything. It's a way to refresh your store, where the other option, when you used to call eBay, and those have been around for a while, 5 or 6 years or more, knows that there was a time where people would simply call eBay, ask for a store refresh. The rep would do it, and you'd finally see sales. But that's no longer a thing. If you call eBay, they're like, that doesn't exist anymore. You gonna say something?
No.
Mr. B, is that for a business or self-proprietor? That is for anyone who sells on eBay with the 1099K. So as long as you meet $20,000 and 200 transactions, then eBay's looking at you as more of a personal items kind of a seller. Whether you are signed up as a business or not, then they're going to report it. Craig says a nuclear reset is relisting the whole store at the same time. I probably just should have gone down to your comment and read that. Pink says a nuclear reset is to end all your listings and then you sell similar, or relist to list all your listings. Keith says expert is just another word for an uncontrollable drip.
I think you're supposed to say uncontrollable drip.
I think that Guinness is taking effect. Blend of the Blithering Lando says, oh wow, never tried the nuclear option. Has that worked well for old listings?
Oh yes.
That's where you want to use it. I've kind of avoided relisting for the most part.
Resisting.
Relisting. I think he meant relisting.
Oh.
I don't know what you mean. But it works. I'm just telling you, it's just one of the tools. Now, is that by itself going to just magically make you, like, do that? That was great timing, by the way. $119. It's a Hobart. It's a Hobart complete sharpener assembly for Hobart meat slicers. Hobart. I didn't think that thing was going to sell. I got it. I'm like, I don't know about this thing. And it won't come up for me. I was trying to show the listing. But it's a Hobart meat slicer. I don't know if you guys can see that. But
no, I can't.
Nonetheless, that puts us at about $900 for the day. Happy with that. I think we paid like $7 or $8 for that. So, cha-ching. Love it. So that's the thing. There's not one thing that you're going to do by itself that's going to magically make your sales just boom happen. It's a combination of everything. It's making sure you have your if you have a store, get a store, guys, if you're serious about selling on eBay, because it opens up the option to have a coupon. It opens up the option to have a markdown sale. You have all the information you need at your fingertips with Terapeak, help you research things a little bit deeper. Utilize the end item sell similar process. Utilize promoted listings, guys. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you what works for us. It's no coincidence that we're getting good sales. It's not an accident. It's through all those things plus hard work that's allowing the cha-chings to appear.
Can you not?
You don't like me doing that?
No, because
you
you're
my arm somewhere.
keep bouncing my chair back.
Well, I could do that anyway.
No.
Not Funny says, in trading cards, there is. Henri Squaw says, yes, it is an option in the category under item specifics. What is an option? I missed something.
Because you're skipping. So
I have
how
to,
because
people are talking to one another, and therefore I'm not going to read every comment because of that.
Well, that's gonna make you
yes. Mr. B is new to eBay reselling or eBay selling. Find what works for you. If you're new to reselling, you're going to get a lot of information. You're going to be getting people in one ear saying, don't promote. You're just feeding eBay. You're going to get people like me who have had success with promoting saying, you know what? If you have competition, you want to promote. You're going to have other people saying, open a store. You're going to have other people saying you don't need a store. You're going to have people, saying you don't have to list every day. You're going to have other people like me saying, well, you may not have to within the algorithm's eyes, but it is a good practice to be that consistent where you're listing something every day. So you're going to get a lot of different messages. But find the information that best resonates for you. Put it to work, and if it works, then keep doing that. And each and every one of us is going to... You're never going to find two resellers that do everything the same. You're not. You're just not. I know of a reseller right now who watches this show, buys the same kind of items that I buy, and I don't think there's a coincidence to it. I think it's like, ooh, they're selling that, let me sell it too. And they're going to yell at me on Instagram about it, but I'll just tell you how I feel. And I could tell you they're doing okay in sales, but not to the level we're doing with similar sized stores. So I think there's a lot to it that has to do with your account health, how well you maintain your account, how steady you grow. Don't grow too fast. If you grow too fast, you're going to draw the attention of AI, and they might throttle you, and they might shut you down, ask you for receipts and all that. You do everything in a measured way, and you find what the right practices are and apply those to your listings, and you're going to do just fine. Paul Rose, I'm in Birmingham, normally, but currently further south of Birmingham. Monroe, probably. Mr. B, like a week-old noob. It's okay. Everyone starts.
A week old? Wow.
Everyone starts at some place.
Yeah, you have to start somewhere.
Henri Squaw says, here are the different grades for LPs. Mint, near mint, very good plus, very good, good plus, good, and P for poor.
How do you
Poor is like you're like getting seasick watching the record on the
that's
turntable
obvious.
because it's doing that. That's poor. I think that would be poor.
G plus, G. I mean, come on.
Well, it's all horrible. There's many that we just threw away.
Yeah.
We weren't trying to sell. Craig Winus is resetting one of your store categories a day is better than a nuclear reset.
Resetting a store category.
I don't know if there is a way to do it by category. I haven't investigated,
Well,
but
obviously, Craig.
Or you're just sorting them out by category or items that would be within the same category and doing it that way. But we go by. Here's what we do. I'll show you what we do if I can get to the other screen here. Bear with me a second. I will show you what we look for. So the stupid mouse doesn't cooperate here. So I go under. Right now we have 309 listings in our store. I'll clear this out of the way. So I go to the right. I go time left. I sort by the amount of time that's left, by the fewest amount of days left. So we have listings that are a day, almost 2 days. And I will take my store, divide it by 31, because there's 31 days in the month. And that's the number of items. So roughly 10 items. I do 10 or 11 items, and I'll just go in here and I'll go through each one, make sure it's not a listing. Some listings you want to not do this to because you want the listing to carry over and retain its viewers, watchers, and sales history. But aside from that, these items are still here, so they're probably not all that hot. So I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then I'll go, I'm not going to do a nuclear reset. I'm just going to show you the base actions. I'll go end listings. I'll go to my ended listings folder, which you should make sure is clear before you do this exercise. And then I'll go in there and do the sell similar. I'll go down and hit this button, right? And I don't know what the hell just happened there or why that went there. But that's kind of our process. We do that every day for just 10 to 11 listings because of the size of my store. And it's something we do. We don't wipe it out unless we see a really, really big deficiency in sales over a period of time. Todd, just woke up. I'm late. Can we start now?
He was napping.
Yes. Nice to see you, buddy. Biff says, I always think about the fact that there are people in San Jose who actually know and control how Cassini works, while the rest of us can only speculate the meaning of eBay. And not only, yes, those folks who are, let's say, the eBay employees, not the ones that are answering the phone, but the eBay employees who are handling like account reps, those people, their job is to look at your store and take all the information they know about eBay and to steer you in the right direction on how to do better with sales. I'd love to be able to speak to an account rep. Too bad they don't have them at eBay open. Maybe they will, but I'd love to be able to speak to somebody from eBay who, of course, can't tell me all the secrets, but at least, maybe tell me, where am I doing right? What am I doing? What do I need to do differently than what I'm currently doing? I'm willing to bet, though, with everything, all the trial and error I've done, I've kind of figured out the best practices that works for us. Let's see. Duncan says, don't worry, John. I will speak Queen's the English. I don't know what that means. It's like speaking the King's English. Henri Squaw says, my dumbest question lately is, can you reduce your shipping fees?
Oh, I hate that question.
And then you got to explain. You know, we're in Las Vegas. I don't know where you're at. But one guy hit me up and said, why in the world is the shipping so high on this item? And a lot of times it's, you know, because the buyer doesn't know what the hell, a 10-pound box,
how much
it
it
ships.
costs.
But this one allowed me to find out, this item we didn't have set as Ground Advantage. We had it set as FedEx. And it was a lot more, and I changed the shipping policy. Sometimes, I've noticed this, sometimes when you're listing on eBay, it likes to default to certain business policies. So it likes to default to like the last return policy you used or the last shipping policy you used. And you can't be on autopilot because sometimes it's just going to put, one of your shipping policies there that you didn't mean to use. Mr. B, have the buyer pay for shipping. I think that's probably the best way to go about, especially when you're new, because see, if you have your shipping baked into the price of your item, you may not charge enough shipping, and many new sellers lose money on a sale because they're paying more in shipping than they thought it was going to be. Biff says near mint is fine for a grade and should be used when the record appears mint. You have to temper expectations with record collectors. Yeah. And I'm glad. Look, I don't mind selling the records. I kind of liked it for a while. You start selling within a niche, you tend to kind of like, this is kind of cool. But you do find that there are people who will ignore my disclaimer, ignore my grades and how I grade them, and I put that in the listing, and have their own expectations. So, it is what it is.
Did the light go out
What light?
on the on-air sign?
I don't think it was on. I gotta turn it on. Can we turn it on? I hate the fact that it's not on because, nope.
Oh.
I just didn't. We were scrambling around to get this thing
I thought
started.
maybe it went out.
No. The Persian Picker says, "Hi guys, just wondering what ever happened to you, to the YouTube couple, the Pittsburgh Picker." I'm not familiar.
I don't know who Pittsburgh Picker is.
There's a lot of.
There's Philly Flipper. There's all kinds of flippers.
Well, there's also a lot of resellers who are dropping off. They're dropping off. With people dropping off, there's less demand for videos, and they're just like not doing videos anymore. Daisy said, I never get any dumb questions from customers, and I always polite when people do ask questions, even if they don't buy. Yeah. Yep. But wouldn't it be cool to have a tool that did all that for you? I mean, I'm not selling anything. I'm just putting that idea out. I do want to, when I can find the time, I am going to do that experiment where I get AI to help me maybe make my own thing that I can connect to my account to do some of this stuff to see how it would work. Henri Squaw says, yes, always be polite and respectful when you respond to questions. That's the only way to be, really.
Yeah, that's customer service. I mean, you wouldn't know it nowadays because not many people are very skilled in customer service, but it's definitely something you need to have when you're running a business of your own.
And one thing that I'll tell you, look, I don't care how you sell your items. I don't care what you're selling. I don't care how you're selling it. I don't care how you're pricing your items. That's not my business. That's none of my business. But it's collectively all of our businesses how you treat the buyer. And you might think, well, it's my transaction. I can treat the buyer any way I want. Problem is, you're hurting that buyer experience to where they're never going to buy from us again. And so I say us because the next time they come on and buy, they're going to go to maybe Mercari or Poshmark or Amazon and say, forget eBay. I never want to buy there again because of this bad experience that I had. So I'm a huge proponent of how we treat the buyers, and I believe that's the responsibility that eBay's put into our hands. And I really fault them for not understanding that There's a segment of the selling population who've never had any kind of training or customer service experience, and that's why it's so important for eBay to develop a onboarding process for new sellers, like the way Whatnot does it. You go through a 30-minute presentation and you learn how to deal with the buyer. Here's what you do with the return. Here's what you do with your packages. And go through a 30, 45-minute presentation and make sure the person's paying attention by asking them some questions. Sort of like, when you first got your driver's license, you had to pass a test. And I think there always needs to be an onboarding process. Let's see. Blithing Rando says, I try to work with what I have until I have no room or time. Then I've maxed out, but I'm part-time. I have friends that pay for storage, but their sourcing and selling didn't really expand with it. I really had no choice with the storage thing. I realized that Q4 was kicking my butt. And I say that because Q4 was not allowing me to source properly at the price point that I'm used to sourcing. Now I have a storage unit full of stuff that's just waiting for me to get to it. And I think if the last 2 years are any indicator, people come out of the woodwork and start like going to yard sales. You see more people in the fall going to yard sales, more people online that you're fighting with over the same pallets you're able to get in the summer for like peanuts. You're paying 2 to 3 times as much. So short of that, I mean, if that happens again, I'll have my entire storage unit to fall back on, and that should help us in Q4. Mr. B, those AI tools collect too much personal data for my liking. I got news for you there.
To tell you, they got all of it.
Your personal information is somewhere on a server in China.
It's not your personal information anymore.
We've all, I think everyone here has been in some way, shape, or form affected by a hacking. And there's so much information that's on a database. I don't know what they're using it for, what they need it for. But I don't, aside from like my direct account numbers and stuff, you got to be careful. Keep an eye on your transactions with your bank and your credit cards. But short of that, I ain't losing any sleep over if a company gets my email address or other stuff. Henri Squaw says, let's hope the AI bots don't start teaching each other to be dumb. Oh. Well, we have AI bots that have been taught to be racist and stuff. You
have horrible. To be really careful. I mean, you're not always going to like what they have to say.
Yeah. Big Dre says, I was in the hospital till 3 a.m. That's why I'm home today. I got heat stroke at work yesterday.
Oh no.
That sucks. I've had that.
So have I.
And you get nauseous, sick.
You're sick.
It's horrible. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, make sure you're hydrating. Lots of electrolytes.
Not funny. I just got a question on a Batman pin from 1995 in package. They ask, is it authentic new or new old stock? I would say anything that is vintage, which is over 20 years old, would be, and if it's in new condition, it would be new old stock. That's just my opinion. Here on Hand-Me-Downs, I think sourcing is the cap for most people. Finding profitable high ASP items is tough to scale. Usually have to make a trade-off in some way. Effort doesn't matter if the opportunity isn't there. And I get you. The opportunity is certainly there. If you consider, at least for me, if you consider we only have 300 items in the store. Now, if I was aspiring to put 10,000 items in the store, then it's a combination of availability of the same, without cheating, the same ASP, higher demand items versus time, right? But if I sell 7 items in a day, and mathematically, if I'm listing 10 or more, then naturally my account's going to grow. And like I said, I have a storage unit, a 15 by 10 storage unit, just filled to the gills with stuff that I can list. So I don't need to feel like, and I think people get into this place, they go to yard sales, they're out of stuff to list, or it's their death pile, which they've been pushing off, they don't want to mess with. And so they find things that maybe they wouldn't normally try to sell, but they have sort of in their mind a certain amount of items they need to have to list. And that's one thing you have to avoid doing. If you avoid doing that and have the opportunities, you're in a place like Vegas where there's millions of people and there's better opportunities. This is one of the reasons why we moved from California to Vegas. There are more opportunities to find merchandise here than there was in Southern California with more people. At least the way I saw it. Less resellers too, I think. Paul Rose, don't look into the light. Carol Ann, go on, sneeze, John. Haha. And boy, did I. Keith says, Paul, leave me with, I'll drop you your message and we sort something out. Yes, you guys get together. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this. Paul's in the UK. Keith is in the UK. Now they can get together, hang out, and talk shop. Kelly says, I think the AI softwares are going to come down to ease of use and pricing. Yep. It's overcomplicated. No one's going to use it. That is absolutely correct.
Bingo.
If it's something that you look at it and going, what the hell am I looking at? You're not going to use it. If it's something that you get an error message every time you hit the button to submit, you're going to give up on it. You're not going to use it. And if it's costing too much money to submit a listing, you're selling $10, $15 items. Why in the world would you pay $1 or more to have any tool list your item? And there's no guarantee that item's going to sell, even when you get it listed. That's why, and this is where we come in with the plug. That's why something like TreeCat, no, they're not an AI lister. They do have cross-listing. They do have the end item sell similar automation. They have the what am I thinking?
Delist, relist.
Well, they have delist, relist, but they also have the item specifics, the AI generated item specifics that when you're in their lister program, it'll automatically, like pull down the item specific for that item and that type of thing. So there's a lot of different things that they have, and you're not paying a monthly fee. You just pay as you sell. So you get a sale, boom, you're paying that 35 cents for it to do all the things and delist it from other platforms. So check on the link down below if you're interested in that. Kelly says, I just read that. Living Rando says, in my opinion, renting storage shouldn't be done for slow-selling products. It has to pay for itself easily. If you buy so much slow stuff that you need storage, the buying is the problem if it's not all bangers. Mm-hmm. I agree. I am very much against the idea of listing for the sake of listing, building an account for the sake of building an account where you have thousands upon thousands of items in storage that aren't selling. That's not our model, at least. I'm very much against that. Now, can it be done? People like James will prove that it can be done and make very, very good money doing it. But I'd like to look at James as an outlier. Not everyone has his drive. Not everyone has his focus to make something like that work. I haven't heard too many other examples of that. Big Dre says, one of my suppliers keeps texting me to go pick up inventory, but I'm too out of it right now to go do that. If you got a good deal, you gotta find a way.
He's sick.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah, he's stroke.
maybe message him. Hey, I'm down on the weather right now. Hold it for me. Glenn says, I would like to become a member and join the Discord. I don't see where to join. In the video description down below, or the live stream description, there should be a link for the Discord. Did I not have it in there? No, I don't, huh?
No, you have nothing in there.
Shame on me. Keith, can you put that in there for me?
Shame on you. Keith is not at home.
Oh, he's not. He doesn't have that
Here, I'll
in
get
his mind.
it.
No, I'll get it. Sorry about that, guys. I will make sure that we have that in there because we do have quite a few people on the Discord. And what the cool thing about that is, you have an eBay or reselling question or concern. Am I getting scammed here or something like that? And there's usually someone right away that'll jump on there and at least give you their 2 cents. Why don't you go back in? Maybe it might be that you'll have to refresh the live stream, but I have the link now in the item description, in the video description down below. Paul Rose says, if AI gets that good, though possibly a way off, how long until companies liquidate their own stuff? Well, I think, was it Primo who was talking about how Goodwill is going to start using these tools to get more of their items up. Instead of presenting them to you and I for resale, they're going to just sell them themselves. Biff says, I'd like an AI lister that I could train to mimic my title structure. I have a proven formula, and I don't want to rework what AI comes up with. Otherwise, I'm saving no time.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about AI, even in its current form, it can recognize patterns. So if you tell AI, look at my store, see how my items are titled. I want you to go in, and all the titles that you generate for me must be in the same format. I promise you, it's something that could be done right now. Mr. B, Clear Eyes Maximum Redness Relief. I use AppCon A, and that works really well, but sometimes it's so red it ain't even working. Mr. B says, go snort some black pepper. John blew a hole in Middle Earth with that sneeze. I'm way behind, aren't I? Like 40 minutes behind. Dave likes when you read the comments. So why don't you read the comments? There you go.
Okay, Dave. I like when Jenna reads the comments. Uh-oh.
That's what he said.
Hold on. Tyler called again.
Why don't you use the mouse and highlight it? Putting her to work.
Paul Rose. All this ectoplasm, and it's not even a Halloween stream. What does that mean? What's ectoplasm?
I don't know, ma'am. You're in charge of the
No,
mouse.
that's not it.
Okay.
Tell me what it is.
I have no idea. This is where I
Okay.
use Grok to tell me what the hell it is. So, we don't use these big fancy words around in these parts. Ectoplasm, that's probably like snot, isn't it? Here it goes.
Ectoplasm?
Is described as a supernatural, often vicious substance purportedly exuded by spiritual mediums during seances.
Oh, no, we're
Yeah.
not doing any of that.
Yeah, we're not playing the Ouija board or nothing.
No.
But I tell you what I am. I'm playing the way behind game right now. I tell you that. Todd says, when you sneeze so hard, you also fart. What's up with that? Well, that's called being old. And don't even tell us, Todd, what else happens after that. We don't want to know.
You might want to carry around an extra pair of pants.
Susan Shepard says, I use Nifty. They delist from other platforms. They send offers. I only have used them for about 3 weeks now. It's really good. So many good features. I also use Flipwise. They're awesome too. Yeah, we use My Reseller Genie for the reporting side of things. They're a lot like Flipwise. And I have nothing against Flipwise. They were very kind to us when we signed up to use their program. But we noticed that there's only, at the time, there was only support for one account, one eBay account. And that was kind of a deal breaker for us. Carla Olson says, John, the eye and sneezing goes together. Allergic to something. I don't know. Who am I allergic to?
Could be me. Maybe I just need to go away.
Uh-oh. Craigslist Hunter Pete, nice to see you, Pete. It's so cool to know that someone like Pete watches our content. I still can't get over that. I mean, when he told me that at Cincinnati that he watches our content, he's a fan of the channel, I was like, wow. It was like I won an award or something. Mr. B wants a Dr. Pepper, and he knows the secret of Dr. Pepper. Kim Townsend says, sounds like the cold I'm battling. I don't feel bad. I just, this fan blowing on me, it makes my nose itch, and then it was doing this thing while I was talking, and I'm like, oh boy, here it goes. I was going to start yelling out cauliflower, 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 which helps prevent a sneeze from happening. It's a clinically proven way to stop the sneeze, but I wasn't going to do that on air. Andy says, careful now, we don't want you to blow your brains out. It felt like my chest exploded on the last sneeze. Mr. B, take a shower and put some peppermint oil extract in your shampoo. Just don't get in your eyes.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day where they sold this tea tree peppermint shampoo, and it used to make your scalp just dance.
Tinkle.
It was, yes. And now you can't find it anymore. It's just all of the peppermint shampoo sucks now. Juice the PA Picker. Did you guys finalize the reseller meetup, and what day is it again? Well, Mike did come out
Yes.
with a itinerary, and
Well, let me hold on. I think it's on Facebook.
but I can tell you this: there's also going to be a meetup the day before eBay Open. That has also come out as well. I'm trying to find it. Where did Mike go?
He's right here.
But
Meetup opportunity before and after eBay. Okay,
I don't
that's
see it
not-
here,
That's
so.
not ours. This is ours.
yeah, don't have the information at my fingertips. But it's going to be where we get together, and then we go to dinner. Still haven't found it.
Uh-huh.
She'll get it. We'll continue on while
Yeah.
she's getting it. Paul Rose, John, you're now of a certain age, as Todd suggests. If you keep sneezing, have a spare pair of shorts handy, or just preempt it with a cork.
Ew.
Kim Townsend says, all the time. Nice to see you, Kim. Mix Mercantile. I'm next to Travis Air Force Base. Okay, that must be up north, right?
No, it's in California somewhere.
Up north, Northern California, I believe.
I can
Yeah.
only
Todd's
wake up
right.
one
Shirtless
thing at a
John,
time.
hell no. My eyes, my eyes. No. Jovial, you wouldn't lose me, John. Wink, wink. Andy Reno says, I always say great looks are as close as a light switch. I could do videos with no
What is
light.
happening?
I guess that's what you guys want. Crazy's Life. Hi, Jenna and John. Nice to see you. The Crazy's Life hanging out with Keith there. Craig Winans is just a reminder, uncertainty kills motivation. Set achievable goals that push your limits. When you achieve or exceed them, your motivation will increase. Have questions and ask for answers. And that's kind of how I feel about the latest success we've had with eBay. It just makes me want to get out there and keep going. You know, it's like keep pushing it. Let's see. Get to some new comments, which means Beard's not here, so I can skip a little bit. Daisy said barbecue ribs for dinner there. That sounds good. Jenna doesn't like ribs. Paul Rose says, I kind of like Duncan. Sounds like a Game of Thrones character, maybe the imp's son. LOL. Wow. The Bargain Effect says, hello and good evening, everyone. Nice to see you, The Bargain Effect. Icy Duck says, union job pays us full pay for jury duty.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say when we were talking about it. When we worked at Amtrak, if the court paid us whatever it was, $20 a day or whatever
It was 15.
whatever it was, we had the option to hand over that check that the court gave us, gave to Amtrak, and then they would pay us in full for what we missed.
Yeah, so you're basically trading a $15 a day
Yeah.
for a, depending on what you got paid. Everyone got paid a little bit different salary. Some got paid by the hour differently. Craig Weiner says, I'm not telling anyone not to use AI listers, but I'm using eBay apps, sell similar, easy listing, zero cost per listings. And that's kind of what we do right now.
You can do it!
I see Ducks 20,000 is and 200 items not or correct. It's
Right.
$20,000 in money in sales. That's including shipping and 200 different transactions. Yes. Biff says Hobart is top professional kitchen brand that goes back probably 100 years. Thus the need for them to get a sharpener that cost them 119 plus tax. Blithering Rando, my sales have actually been a pretty good, but there are always May items that need extra attention. Thanks for the explanation. Yes, you're welcome. We've got Spam Banshee. Nice to see you.
Spam.
Hopefully you and Primo are doing fine, having fun with the listing program. Kim Townsend says, I started promoting after watching one of your videos and has definitely made a difference. I'm telling you, guys, eBay wouldn't create a product that didn't work because you don't pay a promoted fee unless the item sells with eBay. So it's not like they're tricking us to use promoted and they're just raking this money and we're not making sales. They are getting paid from that only when you're making a sale. So wouldn't they push a little harder to get those promoted listings sold to make that money? That's what happens. That's how it happens. Paul Rose says, John, all this skipping with no rope is very impressive. Have you been getting tips from Primo? I am the master of bubbles. Just say that. Craig Wynan says, John is right about getting at least a basic store. The best reason is 10K free listings for things like trading cards, DVDs. That's one good thing, certainly. I think that your competition's going to be using all these tools, markdown sales, coupons, having access to Terapeak, which is now product research, and you don't if you don't have a store. So why are you playing eBay as if you're playing pool behind the 8 ball? You don't want to do that. Free King Flipper, unfortunately here in Mass, we will have to claim anything over $600. That's what I thought. Massachusetts is one of those states where it's a very low bar that if you have over $600, you have to really explain what all those personal items are if you have more than that. Keith says, so instead of end and sell similar, it's basically listing rotation. Yeah, it's just that. It's eBay is going to use a listing after that 30 days. So I get to the point where there's a day or two left. To me, that item's old, it's kind of stale anyway. It's been there for at least 30 days. So instead of letting eBay just recycle it using up one of my listings, why not just use up one of my listings and get a new item tag next to it, or a new listing tag next to it for the next day or so. Blithing Rando, I like that tiered reset idea, John, starting with the oldest and no viewers, watchers. I might do a bit of that. I've been talking about that for a while, actually. Yeah. Hill Valley Vintage, I've never received a jury summons. They must get lost in the mail. I mean, how do you prove it, right? Until after a while, they might say, look, they might start sending it to you with like a signature required. Crazy Life, thanks for all your advice on the members live. I've been putting the advice that into my eBay, and it has been helping me. Awesome.
The Crazy's life is with Pitco right now. They're having a beer together.
Yep. IC Duck says, go to that page, sell similar there, and tweak some things. I do ever use relist. You could use relist or sell similar though. The relist is probably better, but I'm just I will take the longer route if it's just comfortable for me. Gem Flipper, yo, how's it going? I tried the other AI lister and I caught a couple of trademark words and titles. Got access to list. Easier, going to try it next week. Mm-hmm. Find the tools that work for you. That's the way I look at it. Craig Wynan says, relist by store category, active listings, all filters, categories, store categories. Pick one of your store categories and see results. Brings up everything there. Okay, interesting. Kelly says, Pittsburgh pickers are still around, but they are focusing on their business and not YouTube. Lone Wolf Reseller just sold 2 Kelly Osbourne CDs. Thought I'd be stuck with them for an eternity. So get your Ozzy Osbourne stuff, get your Hulk Hogan stuff. Rip to Hulk Hogan. He was one of my favorite icons growing up. Hulk Hogan was just awesome. I went to WrestleMania with my son in 2005, and we saw him. That was really cool. Let's see. Time to sell collectibles. Late as usual, Bus sold another vintage LP. German World War I marches. So wow. The World War II marches weren't enough. The World War I marches are, maybe it's the same person.
$73.
I mean, what is that experience like? Listening to World War I marches. I mean, I don't know. Icy Duck says, I'm dealing with a seller who's being a jerk to me. Knows I'm a seller too. My dad, 86, bought something as a guest. Wrong item sent. He sent it back. I gave info to help seller. He was a jerk to me.
Yeah, the worst buyers are your family.
Let's see here. Paul Rose says, going for a smoke. I would return as long as all the solar lights are still working and I don't break a leg standing on a slug or get attacked by a nutless rabid squirrel.
Oh, no.
How would you know if it's nutless? And are you doing the check? Or someone checking for you? Icy Duck says, cool loan. Kelly got engaged after last concert. Family just told the world. Ozzy loved it. Wished her happy life and all.
Yeah. I saw that. So sad.
Dave Harrington, just drink Brondo. It has electrolytes. What the hell is Brondo? Sounds like a drink that
sounds like soap.
LeBron James made.
Oh no.
let's see. Let me get down here. I'm skipping to my Lou right now, so I
Yeah, you
apologize. Because we're quite long on this one here. Elizabeth Castro says, I just tried the newest AI lister, found out you can't use your phone because it took me 40 minutes to make a listing. The item is 6 pounds, 10 by 12. The AI said I was 1 ounce and 1 probably pound. Nope. And Pitco did put the link there. There's the link to it's in the chat, but also if you're watching after the fact, it's down below in the video description. Lilac Seller Meg. Better arriving late than never. Good to see you two beautiful folks.
Hello.
Well, nice to see you.
I hope you're doing well.
And we have Candy O's with us. Hope you two aren't in sugar coma this evening. I know you sent them a ton of candy.
Huh?
Reminds me of the time that Mike sent me that box of Heath bars that I was like, and I was forced to eat within like 2 weeks. It was bad. But yeah, Candy-O sent them a bunch of candy and stuff.
Okay, I was going to say we have not received any fun packages.
Elizabeth Castro says, Ectoplasm Ghostbusters. There you go. Who are you going to call? John, there's Grumpy John. Hey, did you hear Ozzy died? No, I didn't know.
Nope.
I must have been on a cruise when that happened. How's Hulk Hogan doing? Has anybody heard about him lately? Oh, I might be on a cruise right now. Just giving you a hard time, John. Retro going gone.
He's renovating his house.
I know, but he goes on all kinds of cruises all the time and
He's been
brags
working
about it.
hard right now.
Hi, John and Jenna. My sales have fallen due to being ill. I did end and relist his work. There you go.
Well, I hope you're feeling better.
Jay Collings says, sneeze, fart, and cough at the same time. You explode.
Oh, God.
That's like,
that sounds like torture.
That's kind of harder than patting your head and rubbing your stomach. I could do it. Anybody else out there? I'm the most talented person. You can do it! I'm the most talented person on eBay or on YouTube right now.
Picture this. John doing that motion with no shirt on. It was quite funny.
I got to do a video on it now. Lone Wolf Reseller. Vinted delivered me a good sale today. A bundle order for 10 CDs. That's something you never get on eBay.
Oh, wow. Well, good for you.
Yeah, awesome. Mike says, go to Mike Metco Meetup's Facebook page for schedule and sign up for the Vegas meetup. It's free, but we need a head count.
Yes, and I did put the link in the chat.
Yes, so do me a favor, guys. We want to meet up with you. And I'm sure if you're going to eBay Open, we'll see you there. But I don't know, what kind of setup that they're going to have at the eBay Open, how much time we'll have to, socialize and stuff. So that's what these events are for. So if you go to the event, I believe there's an event on the 11th. I believe that too is also at, at the Venetian as well. They're going to have like a open bar kind of thing, or I don't know. But Jenna's going to check on that.
What am I checking
But what I'm
out?
trying to say is, if they're going to have the happy hour thing right here, there's a Bar Luca at the Palazzo Casino floor, Monday, August 11th, 5 to 7 p.m.
That one's for Katie and Vicky. That's
I understand.
not ours.
But it's
I know.
casual reseller meetup. All are welcome. So you can go to that. I probably will try to be there. But the one that Mike's putting together is going to be on Friday, that afternoon, evening. And then also, again, on Saturday, we're going to do some things. And there's a full schedule for it. And if you're going to be in the Vegas area, whether you're doing eBay Open or you just live out in this way, come on out and hang out, meet us, and just enjoy the time. Corey Ward, just catching up. Interesting about the IRS stuff in the U.S. It's a bit different here in Canada. We have to report 100% of business transactions. Yes, it's a little more difficult to do business in Canada, I think. Just from talking to Josh Galt, it's no cup of tea, that's for sure. He has a lot of roadblocks that he has to deal with. Here's Corey Ward. Exception is that personal items are excluded from our tax filings, so my annual filings are always lower than what eBay might send to them, which is okay. Duncan says, I'm too lazy today, don't feel like packing, don't feel like listing. I listed 3 in a row late last night, and all 3 sold in 15 minutes.
You can do it!
Dunk, you can do it.
Sutter's Mill, when I promoted at 8.1%, sales plummeted. After raising promoted listings to 10.1%, sales skyrocketed. It's amazing what a mere 2% increase can achieve.
Yeah.
Are you hacking into my account there, Sutter's Mill?
More and more.
Are you hacking me? Because that's exactly what I do. I do 8.1 to start my listings, and then when I do the end item sell similar, I bump up those items to 10.1. Did they say how Hulk Hogan died? From cardiac arrest.
Cardiac arrest.
I know, I was watching the interview. He did an interview like a day or two before he died. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, man.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
And there's many more. There's Malcolm Jamal Warner, who died too. There was another couple of singers that I'm not familiar with, but they're from my mom's era. And they passed away. It's like, instead of 3, it was, it comes in 3s. Well, it came way more than that. I think there's like 3, 4, 5, 6.
Alice Cooper is touring in the UK now, so if you're a Brit, get your Slice stuff listed. Yeah, Alex Cooper's cool.
I don't like Alice Cooper.
He likes to play golf. I like Alice Cooper.
He does?
Yep. Can you imagine him?
That's weird.
Where did Keith go? Did he fall asleep from too many beers? Yeah, I think he did.
Well, I hope he did.
Dave Harrington.
No, he's here.
Okay. Alice, not Slice. Whoever invented predictive text, I want a word with them. Just let me find my knuckle dusters. Dave Harrington, John,
the
I see
funny
you.
thing is we didn't even catch it.
Dave Harrington, John, I see you still haven't watched Idiocracy, Brondo. No, I haven't. I don't watch a lot of TV, man. I don't get a chance.
Oh, Brondo, is that what that is? Is that a movie?
They already ate half the bag of Jordan almonds already.
Ew.
To each his own.
I'm officially turning into an almond.
iDuck says, my dad is 86 years old. He didn't ask me, just bought it. The seller sent wrong item. I just explained to seller, help my elderly dad who sent item back with no return yet. I put it in because seller's an ass.
Oh.
Yep. Connie Francis, Chuck Mangione.
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
That was from the Cosby Show, right?
Cosby Show.
King of Kings says, sneeze, fart, and cough simultaneously, and you'll mine 0.001 Bitcoin.
Wow.
Did you guys know Ethereum? So I signed up on this thing.
I have investments in Ethereum.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm sure
I signed up on this thing where it says earn money from home. I don't know if I told you guys this.
Or did you tell your wife?
No, I did tell you because I told you might want to sign up for this, but hold off and see till remember, and you're like, okay, I'm glad I didn't sign up. So you sign up, and it's like this thing where you view like a website, and then you take a screenshot and you send it to the person, and they're like, okay, you've done your task. We're gonna send you another task, but you've just earned $15. Cool.
Oh.
And then so the next task, they said, okay, we're going to go to this one. Now this one you can earn $100, and they pay you in Ethereum through PayPal. And I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of weird because they said, okay, you can earn 100, but you gotta pay 200 up front to get the 100. And I'm like, this is BS. Nobody tells you to pay anything.
And
I said, why would anyone want a screenshot of me on here anyway? But I said, thank you for the free $15 that I confirmed that's in my account for PayPal. And I told him where to go. So that $15 has now turned into $20 in like 3 weeks. And don't ask me why I did what I did. It was stupid. But I was like, let me just go down this rabbit hole. And it was
for it.
Yeah. But I didn't give them any personal information. You know, they're like, we just want people who are going to do this task. Yeah. We went back and forth on how this was a scam. And like, yeah, you guys are screwing people. Classic Phase says, I don't know who gave me a membership. Thank you for the membership. That would be Keith, more than likely.
Pitco.
So thank you for being here, being in the algorithm, and being awarded the gift membership. Let's see. Paul Rose says, I'm ashamed to say I've never been to Vegas. I'd love to. Maybe one day, hopefully while I can still enjoy it. Yes, come on out to Vegas. I think it's right now, they're watching some Vegas videos. They're saying it's as slow now as they have remembered seeing it in the summertime. Yes, King of Kings loves Slice Cooper. Sandy McNair says,
Slice.
"Hi, famous actor did also pass away." Hi, Sandy. What famous actor passed away?
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Yeah. Dave Harrington, yes, please go watch Idiocracy. We are literally living it right now. Okay. I'll have to check it out. I just don't have time to watch these shows. I'm going to make time to watch one of my favorite movies. That is Happy Gilmore. I'm going to watch that with a little popcorn. Paul Rose says, Alice is still in top form. He still has more energy than me. Long may it continue. He's a sweetheart in real life, Jenna. Very religious. It's just a stage act. I saw a video of him talking about something. Don't know what he was talking about, but yeah, he's a good guy.
He's the guy with the black eyeliner, right?
Yeah, he could
and
be.
The long black
I mean,
hair.
you could call him Slice on the golf course. He might.
Wow.
But I hear he's a pretty good golfer. Kelly says you fell for the senior citizen scam, but I didn't fall for anything because I made $15 now $20.
You did
in
fall
Ethereum.
for it, and your wife kept telling you, "Do not fall for
I'm like,
it,
honey.
Do
at
not
least do the first
fall
part
for
and get
it."
$15.
No, I never said that.
I said that.
Yeah, you.
Candios says, "Hey John, I'm sure you've mentioned it, but curious what your handicap is. You look like you're about a 7." No, I'm more a 14, and my buddy that we play matches. He's a 16, and we were like at the same level, and now I'm getting better. But what it is, I figured out why I should be higher, because when I play bad, I'm just like, I don't even want to keep scoring anymore, and then I'm screwing myself. I'm only keeping the decent rounds, but I can play like 3 or 4 holes great, like I'm a
that
pro,
guy.
and then I'm like, it's like I just picked up golf
That
clubs.
guy died.
Who?
Tom Troop.
Oh, okay.
Cheers and Star Trek.
Swampiger guy on Star Trek was 92.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
don't
no,
know.
it says here he's 97.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, he's from Cheers and Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of him in the role. I wasn't a
Mission
Trekkie.
Impossible.
See, either growing up in the 70s and 80s, either you're a Star Wars person or you're a Trekkie. I was never a Trekkie. I was more of a Star Wars guy. Duncan says the Bills don't stop going up lately is crazy. Yeah, Bills are definitely going to continue to happen. How about this? She goes for a consultation with a specialist. That'll be with your insurance, $105, please. Okay, she goes to the procedure. She goes for the checkup after, like the after thing where they tell you, okay, you're still alive. $105, please. What the hell kind of insurance is that? And this is a preventative maintenance thing.
Even the doctor's offices are like, wow, you have a really high copay. And I'm like, just don't mention it. Here's the card. Don't mention it.
Big Dre says, oh yeah, at the hospital a guy was arguing with staff because they said he stole something, and another lady threatened to burn the hospital to the ground because her son escaped the building.
Holy crap.
Ah, yes.
Jeez.
Gonna see Happy Gilmore 2 tonight. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably not going to be as good as the
When were you
original.
gonna tell me that that's what we're doing tonight?
I told you that a while ago.
No, you didn't.
Sandy McNair says, played in Western and war movies. That Troop guy.
Yeah, that Troop, Tom Troop.
Paul Rose, Jenna, you don't notice the spelling error because I'm usually being sarcastic in some way. It's a Brit thing.
And I don't mind it. I love it.
How about this? Cheryl Williams says, Kenneth Washington, last surviving cast member of Hogan's Heroes, final season.
Wow, Jeez Louise. Then there's more than what I thought.
Duncan says, when John swung his club, the golf ball knocked the cricket out of the tree and landed on the clubhouse.
What? When John swung his club, the golf ball knocked a cricket out of the club.
Well, yeah. I have been very fortunate on the golf course. I have not yet broken any windows. I mean, we've hit a dog, but I'm not going to talk about that. Chicken Nugget Queen says, what's up, guys? Doing a great in eBay selling sport cards and women's toys.
Nice.
Women's toys, huh?
Wait, women's toys?
That's what I think Jenna thought she saw on that one screen it was
It was a
perfume,
bottle, but
it was
looked
shaped
a little,
as a yeah.
Looked a
Duncan
little
says insurance sucks. I don't do
naughty.
it. I just save money for anything like dock apps. We're not going to have it next year. I
Well,
don't
we
think.
are certainly not going to be having this insurance
It
next
sucks.
year. It absolutely is the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst.
Paul Rose says, John, I was both, but mainly Star Wars 2. You know you're getting old when all your heroes are starting to drop off the perch. Yeah. That sucks. And then you just see the line getting shorter, like, oh no, I'm next. Yes,
There's
I agree.
nobody
Chicken Nugget
standing
Queen.
in front of you anymore.
Guys, promote. It helps.
Yes.
I mean, it's painful when you're paying an additional. If you're paying additional 10%, I could see like, look, it's 10% that I could be using towards my bills, but you're getting a higher volume of sales by the sheer fact that you're promoting, which is why you should promote. I think this idea that we're talking 3%, guys. Don't promote at 2. If you're going to promote at the bare minimum, promote at 3. But would you pay 3% more in fees to get more sales? I think most people would. Yeah, Duncan, my golf ball hit a dog. I think I told you guys this many years ago when my dad was alive. This is like maybe 10 to 15 years ago. We're playing at a golf course. I hit an errant drive to the left. I'm like, oh crap, I pulled it again. And I think it went over by that yard. It was like an iron rod fence for their backyard. So went over to look for my ball, and I saw my ball laying next to what looked like a pit bull that was laying there, taking a nap. And I'm like, but why didn't it wake up and like chase us away? And my dad was joking, it looked like it had a death quiver, and I don't think that dog is around anymore. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll just drop the ball. Maybe it's still asleep, but I'll hit. We went back there 2 weeks later and played. That dog was not in the backyard. I felt so bad. I felt bad. Jovio says, I'm beginning to think a couple of crickets crawled into Duncan's ear and laid some eggs.
They did.
Pico says, if everyone comments fast, now we can keep the live going.
No.
We're actually on 2 hours, and that's through my sneezing fits. And I haven't seen my friend, Bearded Picker. He didn't come and hang out today and criticize my skipping.
Well, maybe he's
started his live by now. So I'm going to do this, even though he didn't check in with my show. I'm going to do this.
He's not live yet.
Yeah, he's going to be going live in a couple minutes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to tell you guys to do him a favor, do him a solid, and go over to the Bearded Picker channel and go and join his live in a few minutes. I think some of you guys have already done it. But and Kim Townsend promotes anywhere from 5 to 8. So, Paul, go check out Beard's channel. I might jump on there a little later. I don't know if I'm going to, what I'm going to be able to really contribute to the conversation because I got a lot of things I need to do still. But, guys, I think the takeaway from this, we had a good conversation, by the way, on a couple of things. Look, $20,000, 200 items in a single year in sales. That's what's going to trigger the IRS getting, for the most part. Now, some of you guys are in states that the threshold's a lot lower, but for the rest of us, it's up to you on how you handle that information, whether you're going to report like you should or whether you don't. That's not my job to judge, but I just want you to know that eBay is finally acknowledging that, where there's a lot of people that were doubting it. What?
3D precision scanning. Do you have a video that explains the promos?
What promos? What promos?
How to promote? I don't know.
Well, I'll wait for 3D
You're
precision
asking me.
scanning. Let me know what promos are you talking about. Spam says, enjoy Happy Gilmore. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Yes. Have a wonderful weekend eating all that candy.
No sign of B nudes. I'm guessing he's getting candy.
Yeah, where's B Nudes at?
I know.
But I do a lot of different videos. I'm doing more of my videos where I'm out in the garage working, listing and doing all the things while I'm talking about a certain subject. Mm-hmm. But if you give me a specific, I can tell you if I've done one. Enjoy your Friday night movie. Yeah, I'm going to have a good time. Time to sell collectibles. I once thought I hit a birdie, but found out with my handicap it was really an eagle. The guy laughed so hard, all I saw on that card were buggies. So Classic Phase, have a safe and fun weekend. Same to you as well. So Beard just started his live. So I'm going to say this. Look, check out my channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. Be on the lookout for more content here this week like normal. Go over and show Bearded Picker a little bit of support. And we will see you guys here on Monday.
God bless. We love you.
Take care.
Shock back, return. ones and lowball offers too. Zero takedowns, they're a pain, what can we do? High selling fees, bad buys, and rude buyers galore. Flipping ain't easy, but we keep coming back for more. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Sourcing great items is the key to success. Subscribe to the channel and stand above the rest. Focus on the thing that is within your control. Hang with flipping ain't easy. Let's roll. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh, flipping's more than a game. All resellers are gonna make mistakes. Learn from them and you'll have what it takes. In the world of reselling, we're your guide. With flipping ain't easy by your side. Catch the live streams on Mondays and Fridays. Join the Discord community for the parlays. Tune into the podcast. Profit Playbook's the name. With Scott and Josh,